There's a beach town in South America where billionaires, polo players, fashion moguls, and old Argentine money quietly spend their summers. But most Americans have never even heard of it. It doesn't look flashy. There are dusty roads, surf cafes, low-rise buildings. But behind those understated facades sit some of the most expensive and exclusive real estate in the Americas. And right now, this coastline is beginning a major transformation because wealthy families are no longer just vacationing here. They're moving here full-time. This is Labara, Uruguay. And in this video, I'll show you why I think this coast could become the next great global lifestyle market. You'll see why I consider Uruguay the Portugal of the Americas, what makes Labara so special, and most importantly, what it costs to own there today. Hi, I'm Ronan McMahon. I've been scouting Uruguay for almost 2 decades. This is a place I love spending time. This country of just 3.5 million people is one of the safest and most prosperous places in Latin America. It has a stable democracy, modern infrastructure, and one of the largest middle classes in South America. That stability has made Uruguay a safe haven. That's why I call Uruguay the Portugal of the Americas. Because today it reminds me of Portugal a decade and a half ago, just before the world fully discovered it. You have an incredible Atlantic coastline backed by pine forests, a relaxed outdoor lifestyle, excellent food and wine culture, welcoming residency and tax policies, and real estate prices that still feel early compared to established luxury markets. Uruguay combines the best of Europe and Latin America, and nowhere captures that better today than Labara. To understand Labara, you first need to understand the city beside it. Punta del Este is often called the Monaco or Saint-Tropez of South America. This glamorous resort city is a playground of the world's elite. From December to February every year, that's summer in the southern hemisphere, private jets fill the local airport. Mega yachts crowd the marina. Supercars line the streets. Beach clubs and fine dining restaurants overflow as celebrities, royalty, and supermodels come to see and be seen. At the top end of the market here, homes sell for many millions of dollars. And over the past 2 decades, Punta has grown dramatically. Luxury towers now rise across the skyline. Entire new districts have been developed, and every year more wealth flows into this coastline. But over time, something predictable happened. As Punta became busier and more built up, the wealthy started looking farther east, for somewhere quieter, more understated, more relaxed. This happens in every major luxury market. In fact, the same thing happened in the Hamptons. Success creates overflow, and overflow creates new luxury enclaves. In Uruguay, that overflow moved east to Labara. Labara is about 15 minutes east of Punta del Este. Cross the famous wave bridge over the Maldonado Creek, and the atmosphere changes immediately. Towers shrink, the pace slows, and the coastline turns wild and beautiful. Long stretches of golden sand beach, windswept dunes, and rolling Atlantic surf. This place feels more like coastal California or parts of Australia than what most people imagine South America looks like. Nestled in its modest buildings behind low-key facades, you'll find surf cafes, wine bars, designer boutiques, contemporary art galleries, yoga studios, and incredible fine dining restaurants. People come here to slow down, to trade suits for linen shirts and shoes for sandals. But don't mistake the dusty roads and relaxed atmosphere for cheap. Some of the wealthiest people in South America own homes here. Serious money in flip-flops. And right now, this quiet enclave is beginning to evolve into something much bigger. For decades, Punta del Este and Labara were highly seasonal destinations. In summer, they overflowed with wealthy vacationers. Then the season ended. Restaurants closed, stores shuttered, and the coastline emptied out. The famous statistic about Punta del Este was that its population grew from less than 10,000 in low season to more than 300,000 during the summer peak. But now that's changing. During the pandemic, wealthy folks retreated to their second homes along Uruguay's coast. What they discovered was that they could comfortably live here year-round. They could work remotely, raise families, run businesses, and enjoy a calmer, more relaxed lifestyle. For many, Their second homes have now become their primary homes. That shift is transforming this coastline. Today, Labara is evolving from a seasonal beach town into a true year-round destination. You can see the transformation happening in real time. Restaurants and cafes that once closed outside summer now stay open year-round. Luxury gated communities inland from the beach are attracting new permanent residents. New businesses are opening to serve a wealthier full-time population. And increasingly, the economic and social center of gravity is shifting east from Montevideo towards Punta del Este and Labara. When I was last in Uruguay, I had more meetings around Punta and Labara than in the capital itself. That tells you where the momentum is. Before I go further, if you're enjoying this episode, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future releases. And if you want more details on opportunities like this, comment below to get our real estate buyer's guide. Now, here's another signal I'm seeing in Labara. In 2022, the elite Garzon International School opened, targeting affluent families now living here permanently. This coast is evolving, and because development here remains low density and tightly constrained, I believe this shift could have a major impact on real estate values over the coming decade. In a moment, I'll show you what it costs to own in Labara today. But first, let's step back and talk about the basics of buying in Uruguay. One of the first questions people ask me is, can foreigners buy real estate in Uruguay? The answer is yes, and the process is straightforward. You don't need residency, you don't need citizenship, and you can own property directly in your own name. That's one reason Uruguay has become such a trusted safe haven for wealth. This country has some of the strongest property protections in Latin America. The legal system is stable and transparent. Foreigners have the same ownership rights as Uruguayan citizens. Another important point, most real estate in Uruguay is bought and sold in US dollars, not the local currency. That matters because it removes a layer of currency volatility that exists elsewhere in Latin America. I also get asked a lot about residency. Uruguay offers some of the most welcoming residency pathways in the region. And increasingly, affluent families, retirees, entrepreneurs, and remote workers are taking advantage of that. Because once people spend time here, many realize they don't just want to vacation in Uruguay, they want to live here. There are two main ways I'd look to own in and around Labara today. The first is beachfront or ocean view condos close to town. The second is inland lifestyle communities, a short drive from the beach. Let's start with the coast. Modern condos in Labara can easily run north of $1 million, but the entry point can be surprisingly affordable. This 3-bed, 2-bath apartment sits in the heart of Labara, just steps from the beach. It spans around 800 square feet and has terraces front and back. It's listed for $390,000. Just outside Labara, on the road leading toward Punta del Este, you'll find some surprisingly strong value luxury real estate. My scout Ronan recently toured a stunning 4-bedroom condo in a gated community called Silente. The condo spans around 2,000 square feet. From the terraces, you have sweeping views over the Atlantic Ocean and coastline. Community amenities include pools, a gym, sauna, barbecue area, tennis courts, and beautifully landscaped grounds. It was listed for $765,000. Compare that to equivalent luxury ocean view real estate in places like Miami, Southern California, or the French Riviera, and the value here is compelling. The second opportunity I really like here is inland gated communities. These communities appeal to families and retirees who want privacy, space, nature, and security, while still being close to the beach and Punta del Este. One example my team toured is a community called El Kiote. It's just 10 minutes from the coast, but it feels like another world. The setting is pastoral and peaceful. The community includes lakes, nature reserves, horse riding facilities, kayaking, and club amenities like pools, restaurants, and gyms. Today, completed homes in the community generally start at around $400,000. One home my team viewed had 4 bedrooms across 4,200 square feet on more than an acre of land. It was listed for $590,000. To show you what the very top end of this market looks like, this 5-hectare luxury estate near Labara Country Club has 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms across more than 60,000 square feet. The property includes a pool, spa, and gym. It's listed for $16 million. That gives you an idea of the level of wealth on this coastline. Now let's talk about rental potential here. Historically, this was an extremely seasonal rental market. The summer months of December through March generated the overwhelming majority of demand. That's still the peak season today. And during those months, luxury rentals in Punta del Este and Labara can command very high nightly rates. With the right buy here, you can expect to cover a lot of the annual cost of ownership just from renting during these peak summer months. And the market is evolving. As more affluent buyers move here year-round, the rental season is gradually extending beyond the traditional summer window. Today, there's growing off-season demand from remote workers, families, retirees, and affluent visitors seeking longer-term lifestyle stays. The strongest rental performers tend to be well-designed homes, ocean view condos, and properties close to the beach, restaurants, and the social heart of Labara. And because this market remains relatively low density and supply constrained, quality inventory here is limited. That's important, because when demand rises faster than supply in a lifestyle market like this, rental rates and property values tend to move together. This feels very similar to what I saw years ago in certain coastal regions of Portugal before those markets fully matured into year-round destinations. And it's one of the reasons I believe this is such an interesting moment to look seriously at Labara. There are some things to be aware of before buying in Uruguay. The weather here is seasonal. Winters are cool, with temperatures ranging from the mid-40s to the mid-50s. Flights to Uruguay from the US and Europe are also long and usually require connections. For some folks, those may be deal breakers, but you could see them as advantages too. Uruguay remains so off the radar internationally that arriving here still feels remarkably easy and uncrowded. You typically breeze in and out of the airport in Montevideo. And because the seasons are opposite to North America and Europe, this makes an ideal winter escape destination. Put it all together and Labara checks a lot of boxes I care about. Natural beauty, a strong lifestyle proposition, an established affluent market, growth momentum, and supply constraints. Most importantly, it still feels relatively undiscovered internationally. And I think that changes over the next decade, because increasingly, affluent buyers around the world are looking for the same things: safety, lifestyle, space, walkability, nature, and authenticity. Labara offers all of that. Plus, you have everything glamorous Punta del Este offers right on your doorstep. That's why I think Labara deserves your attention, and why I believe Uruguay generally is one of the most overlooked countries in the world today. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another destination like Labara. You can also click the links below to get our buyer's guide and check out my book in the description. I'll see you next time.